Hello scrapbooking friends, and thank you for joining me for another process video. So today I'm working on another donkey layout, and this one's about my two dogs, Buddy and Chester here, meeting Rose donkey there and meeting Elvis donkey. So I took them over to the sanctuary, and yeah, they met Elvis, and then Rose came over too, so they met Rose. 3 4x6 photos. I've mounted them onto very thin border I've mounted them onto white textured card with a very thin border. My trimmer is not particularly precise, it's not a precision trimmer, but you know, I wanted it to be quite a thin border, so it's not too bad. I've got wooden buttons here. I've put a small button inside of a larger button there, and I've inked up the smaller buttons. These two little paws here, I actually rescued them from a project that I was dismantling from years ago, and I'm going to reuse them. They did used to have like little hooks on the back, or little loops on the back. I don't know whether they were for sewing or not, but yeah, so I'm reusing them on a layout, and I've had them for many years. I don't know if you can see here, I've got my title set out here using Simple Stories, Colour Vibe, Foam Alpha in red, 2 Lollipop sticks here with gesso. I've gessoed those with the vickiboutin gesso, is the one that I use. And the pattern paper here is Photoplay Polar Plunge, and it's Frostival, and it's got the snowflakes on the back, which I would have, you know, I'm not sure whether I bought it for that side or this side because it's Christmas paper, but I absolutely love this side. The only thing I don't like about this pattern is that it's on the diagonal. I'm one of those people who likes my patterns to be like straight, not on the diagonal. So you know when you get those houses like in Spain with the tiled floors or wherever, and they don't put the tiles like straight, they put the tiles like at an angle. Oh my gosh, yeah, that really bothers me. I can't deal with it. I like things to be straight, but I absolutely love this pattern, and you know, I'm using it. I've got this scrap from my stash. I looked in my scraps box and I found this piece that I'd already fishtailed, so I thought I'd use that to place my title, to give a base for my title, and that is that Bella Besties. I can recognise that as Bella Besties pattern paper. So yeah, we'll get the photos down. I think I'm going to use my mini stamp set there for just putting a tiny little bit of journaling onto the Lollipop sticks, and yeah, another simple layout. I think this the foam doesn't really like the tape runner. As you can see, I've used up some of my foam pieces on the back of this, chopped up all the tiny pieces to get them used. And this glue is not my high tack glue, but I've just sort of came across it in my craft room. There's not much left in it, and I thought, you know what, I may as well finish using that up. It's just like a PVA glue. So pop these down somehow. Title's going to go there, photos sort of here, these pieces here. So I'm going to overlap the 2 photos on the side slightly onto the frame. I like to do that, I do quite like to do that. Slightly more of an angle than I wanted, I think. A bit less of an angle there. And this one I've raised up slightly, just, you know, just for a bit of interest, which I like to do. And the title, my lovely friend Moira O'Reilly gave me the idea for the title, because when I sent her the photos of Buddy and Chester meeting Elvis and Rose, she said, oh, they've got nose kisses, or they've nose kissed. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea for a title, so I'm going to use it. Thank you, Moira. Right, how do we want these to go? thought about putting this centrally here, so putting the lollipop centrally underneath, but which is something I do like to do. But I thought today I might do it on the sort of lower right side of the page. Pop this down. Nose kisses. And I've got my red, I think I said this before in a video not too long ago, my Colour Vibe foam alphas from Simple Stories. I did get 3 packets of all the colours back in 2020. And so I'm not quite sure why, but the red one, which is my favourite colour, has not seen a lot of use. So I've got E's and everything left. So yeah, I quite like that. I think I said it was because it wasn't a bright red, and that's probably the case. But yeah, perfect for this layout, because Buddy here's got his red harness and collar and everything on, and I toyed with the idea of using purple, but yeah, I liked the red, and I'd got the alphabets for the red. I don't think I've actually got a purple alpha anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to do that. Let's get this down, shall we? Just place it lightly to begin with. Make sure it's how I want it to be. I'm not going to use a ruler or anything on this one. It's a fun layout. It doesn't matter if it's a bit skewiff. Nose. I'm thinking I should probably place this end first so that I get the same gap here as here, and with the heart centered in the middle of whatever's left in the middle. The gap that I create in the middle. So Rose, she's been at the Donkey Sanctuary since 2019. She's a local girl. She came from the island. I believe she came from Whitwell, which is pretty much the next village along to Wroxall, which is where the Donkey Sanctuary is situated. So yeah, she came because I think her owners may have moved away and she didn't have any donkey friends, so she came to join us at the sanctuary. And she's about 14 years old, so still quite a young donkey really. She's lovely. Right, does that look okay? I think it does. I know the red of my heart there is not the same red, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. It looks a bit orangey when I'm looking at it now, but it's not. It's my archival ink pad that I normally use in red. There. Now then, I'm going to use my other glue to put the paws down, because yeah, they're quite chunky embellishments, and they have got a slight raised element to the back where the loop was. I cut the loop away, and it's already had glue on it because I'd actually got it on a picture frame, stuck it to the front of a picture frame that I've since dismantled. Right, are we okay there? Can we see what we're doing? I think we can. I'm going to pop these down. I've put some red line tape on the back of these just to give them that extra adhesion. It's not always easy to peel the backing off of the red line tape when you've stuck it to something that's not paper or cardboard, but I'm hoping I'll be able to do it. Yeah, I think I've just caught the end bit there. And I am going to add a tiny little bit of wet glue, just to make sure. Now then, how do I want it to go? This way? Here, I think. These lollipop sticks are just kind of cheap lollipop sticks that I got from, you know, I don't know, supermarket or somewhere. They're not precision cut. So this one looks a bit wonky. But I don't mind that at all. I don't think the hearts here are precision cut either, because when I was putting this one in, or I managed to put one in quite easily and the other one just did not want to go in, so I had to kind of force it. But yeah, I do like the look of having that extra little heart in the middle there. This glue's really coming to the end now, so it's not going to last much longer, I think. Right, pop that down. Ooh. Where did I put the lid to that? Over there. I'll just knock that over. I'll just drop that on the floor. There it is. Just want to put it upside down so the rest of it comes out easier. Give my glue a shake. Just gave my other glue a good shake. See if we can get this to stay despite the raised element. What I'm going to do is put quite a big blob of glue there, and yeah, hopefully it will take. I think it will. Bit of extra glue coming out there as usual. Just mop that up a little bit with my cotton bud. And I'm sure that they'll be fine. I haven't had any problem with this high-tech glue. It's a really good glue. I mean, years ago when I was card making and what have you, I used to use silicone gel glue, like this one here. But I find that I always find that it just, every single time it got gunged up, and you ended up like wasting a lot of it. But I always thought that was the only one, the best one to use. And then I think a lot of people use glossy accents, but I didn't really like using glossy accents as a glue. It's quite expensive, and I just prefer to use it as, you know, a glossy accent. But yeah, this high-tech glue I've found that it works as good as the silicone. It's really, really good for, especially for chunky embellishments. Stays on saddle brown. Once I was chatting there, I just added the date to the Lollipop stick. I'm trying to remember to use my stays on ink on these Lollipop sticks when I've gessoed them, but yeah, sometimes I forget and use the ordinary ink, and so far I haven't actually had a problem with that, so that's quite good. Right, now then I'm going to put just a little bit of stamping on here, so I'm going to put that Buddy and Chester, Met Rose and Elvis. I'll probably do some of it off camera so you don't have to watch me do all that. I'll do a little bit of it. I will start off on here. I'm not sure how the spacing is going to go, but we'll see. Quite tricky to do. I don't want to make a mistake because I've actually glued the Lollipop sticks down. Probably should have done the stamping beforehand. Did I get a little mark on there? I'm not sure. I don't want to wipe it because I don't want to smudge it. So see if I can wipe it afterwards. Buddy and Buddy and Chester have both been to the Dog Sanctuary before. They went, would it have been 2021 or 2? Or was it before the pandemic? I can't actually remember now. No, it couldn't have been before because we didn't have Chester before. He came to us at the beginning. So yeah, it might have been 2021 for my birthday because I have got a photo of Chester meeting Coffee Donkey. So yeah, they had been before, but only once. And we still actually had Elvis when they went as well. So it must have been before he passed away, which was May 2021. So yeah, I think April probably 2021 when it was near to my birthday, I think we went. So yeah, they've both been before, but not, yeah, they wouldn't, I don't suppose they'd remember. But he was, you know, he barked a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And I was glad that they met Elvis, of course, and Rose. Buddy and Chester. Now then, can I fit meat on there? I wanted to say meeting, but that's not going to fit. So yeah, I'm going to have to fit that on, aren't I? So try not to do too much space between those letters that are left on to do. Yep, that's okay. And then we'll do the T, and then that's that top bundle. Buddy and Chester meet. I'll just pop off and finish the stamping. Okay, so I just finished off that little bit of stamping, so you didn't have to watch me do all of it. It's you know, a bit not quite dark in some places, but that's okay. I quite like that look. So that's it really. There's not much else to say because it was really Buddy and Chester meeting Elvis and Rose. So yeah, and Nose Kisses is my title, thanks to Moira. So yeah, I think this is finished. So 3 4x6 portrait photos centrally placed across the page, and title at the top, of course, and then journaling in this case is what I've stamped, and a few little embellishments from my stash, and using up some reutilising a couple of embellishments that I've used previously. So that's always a good thing to do, isn't it? So once again, thank you for joining me. Stay safe, take care, and I shall see you next time.